That's not a bad way to start lunchtime, huh? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm going to make you hungry. You're especially our special guests. The students have already had lunch here, so they're ready to sit back and have a long concert. We have the Rolling Stones coming on in just a few minutes. I'm Mel Mackay for our guests here today, head of John Bapst, and I think the students and the faculty knew that already. It's great to have you here. I'd like to welcome all of you to a special event. We do have some guests from outside the school here with us today, and I thank you for making the effort to come out and be part of this event. I want to say, I'd like to name you all, but I'm not going to do that. We've got about a 30-minute program here. I do want to say, though, how good it feels, and the students will join me in this, to see back in the school somebody who retired recently and taught at John Bapst for 42 years. Dick Soucy is here today. Stand up. Come on. So, Mr. Soucy, just in case you weren't sure if you'd made an impact, you have. It's great to see you here. I want to say a thank you to Lainey Reed and Susan Eggert. Susan's still at the piano here for sharing their beautiful music with us. You heard Al McIntyre and the jazz band doing Glenn Miller's In the Mood, which is very appropriate to the occasion, and another tune, and we'll hear more from them in a few minutes. We're pleased to welcome members of the media here today as well, and I'd like to invite all of our guests and our media friends to join us afterwards, after this event in the school library for a reception. So for about 3 months or so, we've been sending out hints to members of the John Bapst community. Big news, the outside of the envelope says. Big news, come to campus on November 16th at noon. We've got something to share with you, and so here we are. As a school community, we gather every 7 days, and today's assembly gives me a chance to share exciting plans and good news about our progress in making those plans come true. Our assembly today is what's called a fundraising campaign kickoff. Big news indeed. Almost 30 years ago in 1990, John Bapst Memorial High School undertook a successful Proudly Forward campaign to renovate science labs, classrooms, and other spaces in the school. Mr. Sequeira, Joe Sequeira, who is with us here today with 2 of his fellow refounders, 3 of the 4 people who reopened John Bapst in 1980. Mr. Sequeira was principal then, and here we are. If you look behind yourself, we're in Joseph W. Sequeira Auditorium. Joe, where are you hiding? We want to say thank you to Joe, Earl, and John. Please stand, our refounders. Earl, Joe Sequeira, John McKay. John McKay spells his name the same way I do, mispronounces it, but we're both from Boston, so we've decided we're cousins, probably our ancestors who didn't know how to say it right. Great to have you all here. So I mentioned the Proudly Forward campaign. That 27 years ago, 10 years after that, there was another very important moment in the school's fundraising and history of improvement when, with basically a single gift supplemented by other people's generosity, the school was able to install an elevator and make it so somebody, for example, in a wheelchair could make it to the auditorium of John Bapst and watch a play, hear the musical, hear a concert. Now it's 2017, and with the help of the Bangor media firm Sutherland Weston, we've made a little video that tells a story and answers the question in part of what the future holds for John Bapst. So now let's take a look at the video.
This is more than a great school.
Our teachers, coaches, administrators, and our students love to work together, love to be successful. That would make anybody fall in love with any place.
I love this school so much that I've taught here for 33 years.
I believe in the spirit of John Bapst.
It's very easy to say that Bapst is a great institution.
What's not to love about John Bapst?
The name of our campaign is Love That School. This place is special.
And there's a reason for it.
The biggest reason is the students.
We've always been a school that puts students number one at all times and under all circumstances.
Our students tend to be very kind and very polite.
People come to our school because they can be themselves, they can learn.
I think the highest compliment I've ever been paid was by a student from Bapst who said that he's never had an easy time with learning until he came here. There's a safety here that students appreciate, and I know that staff encourages.
We're setting them up for success. There are few things sweeter than kids succeeding.
The one complaint I've always had is that they don't have enough periods because there's so many different classes that I want to take, but I can't because I have so many different options that I want to explore here.
We've had to change with the times for sure, and we've had to change with the wants and the needs of parents and students. One thing has remained consistent, and that's the John Bapst commitment to a quality education.
You could be a football jock to band geek and still fit in and still be encouraged.
When I come back to John Bapst, and when I know other graduates with whom I've spoken to come back to John Bapst, we all feel this tremendous sense of connection and that the spirit is still alive.
We are grateful parents. So grateful to have had this school for our children to go to. It was everything that we hoped it would be.
This is a magnificent building. The architect did some really remarkable things. School has become a very good steward of a significant historic property.
Our gym is actually too small to have even a conventional basketball practice in. Our kitchen isn't sufficient to actually cook for everybody, and we really need a better place for a dining facility.
Our vision is a new gymnasium. The new gym at the corner of Somerset and French Street is a 15,000 square foot facility, a fully equipped fitness center. We know we need that because this is a very important time to establish healthy habits for one's life. Upstairs, a full-scale basketball court, big enough that we can run 2 basketball practices simultaneously. Downstairs here at 100 Broadway, in the space that's been the gym, will be a dining hall, also functioning as a community space for all the many groups that gather here. Very nice new kitchen right next to it. All of a sudden we have 2,000 square feet of uncommitted space. That's the Innovation Center. That's where robotics, coding, cyber defense, engineering 1 and 2, all the things that make up a vital program will take place.
John Bapst is good for Bangor.
It brings a lot of money into the community.
We live in an international, global society, and for us to have a wonderful, thriving international program is such a benefit for our students.
John Bapst brings a level of diversity that Bangor simply doesn't have and wouldn't have.
This campaign is going to take an already great school and illuminate its greatness.
Right now, John Bapst is graduating tremendous students.
I can't imagine how much more great they're going to be once we have made these changes.
We become a more flexible school. We improve the quality of life of our students.
It's going to open up a whole new range of opportunities from educational to cultural to sporting.
So for 4 of the last 6 years, John Bapst has been the #1 school in northern New England, and that's according to the Washington Post. So with these improvements, we take a #1 school and make it even better.
John Bapst is an institution worth investing in.
I can think of nothing better for your charitable giving and to support what we're trying to do here at John Bapst.
As an alumni, I am proud to support the Love That School campaign.
Our kids are just hardworking kids that want to do well. They are the community leaders of tomorrow.
I do love the school. It's brought out the best of me and made me who I am today.
Love that school.
That's why I love this school.
I love John Bapst now. I love what it provides and what it provides me personally.
I love that school. I love John Bapst.
Love that school.
Love that school.
I love that school.
Yeah, love that school.
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 And a better John Bapst means a better Bangor, a better Maine, a better United States, better world. The poor members of the jazz band, they're all sitting up there listening to the words. They're going to have to watch the movie in class, right? So did you get all that? Take a tour of John Bapst 2 or 3 years from now, depending on how fast our fundraising moves forward, and you'll see a 2-story gym and fitness center at the corner of Somerset and French Streets, designed by Ames Associates, which is a Bangor architectural firm. And after the new gym opens, you'll see a new dining hall and kitchen where the current gym below us now stands, and a new center for innovation and technology. Also very cool will be the fact that the music wing, the art wing, and the tech center will all be connected by a single T-shaped corridor with its own elevator stop. And I know these students love carrying bass drums and amplifiers up and down stairs, but in the future, I suspect the music department will be using the elevator a lot more than today. So add a $1 million price tag that the school needs for its endowment, and all of this comes to $7.5 million. And that's a little bit more than we've raised before. Is that right, Mr. Sequeira? I mentioned at the outset today that I have both exciting plans and good news to share. First, with us today from Bangor Savings Bank is a current John Bapst parent, Ron Roop. Ron is an officer at Bangor Savings, and if you came to our homecoming game in October, you saw Mr. Roop and a John Bapst alumnus, Jared Guimond, who also works for the bank, along with our Leah Britt, our development director, and me, out at the 50-yard line. And Ron and his colleague Jared were holding up a check from Bangor Savings Bank for $50,000. Mr. Roop, please stand so we can thank you in Bangor Savings Bank. And like Bangor Savings, if you're familiar with the bank's new headquarters project on the waterfront, John Bapst is also a vital part of Bangor's downtown revitalization. We bring almost 400 local students from towns outside Bangor into the city every day, along with 70 international students this year from 11 countries. And so our good news is good news for the city of Bangor and the region as well. That good news is that over the past year and a half, a small group of us have been knocking on doors, quietly asking for support. I'd like to ask members of the campaign steering committee to stand and let us thank you for your hard work behind the scenes. So these are the folks, and I'm saying this to our other guests and to members of the media, these are the folks wearing the purple lanyards, and they'll be happy to talk afterwards and provide some more detail. Please feel free to chat them up in the library. With their help, we're moving proudly forward again. One couple, closely connected to the school, has pledged more than $1 million to name the new dining hall. Another has told us that they're very interested in naming the Innovation and Technology Center. A graduate from the 1940s pledged $100,000 in memory of his late wife. They met at John Bapst. An alum 3,000 miles from Bangor will see the John Bapst Endowment grow from $1.3 million, where it stands today, to $3.3 million. A prominent local businessman wrote us a check for $100,000. Two past parents have pledged $100,000, and several other graduates of the school and past parents have committed between $5,000 and $50,000 to support our worthy cause. All of this has taken place during what's called the quiet phase of the campaign. Today's kickoff begins the public phase. Overseas, our international families have contributed already more than $25,000 to the campaign. And the momentum has helped us in other ways too. The son of John Bapst's first cheerleader, Kay Rogan Barrett, who it happens was born 100 years ago in 1917, that is his mom, not him. He has this year substantially increased the scholarship fund in his mother's name that supports our cheerleaders. As of yesterday, John Bapst Memorial High School has raised, okay, Sam Blanchard, drum roll please. Give him a hand. As of yesterday, we've raised $3.5 million. All of these plans are part of a wish list put together by a committee appointed in 2012 by the then chair of the board, Jim Settley, also a John Bapst parent of 3 proud alumni, 3 girls. And I'd now like to introduce one of the members of that committee, John Bapst board member, past parent, Dr. Adrian Carmack.
Thank you. I'm really thrilled to be here today. This is such an exciting time for Bapst. Some of you may know me. My son Tom, he graduated last year, and he was our 5th child to graduate. So I'm sure you guys are wondering, why am I still here? In 2003, I had never even heard of this amazing place named John Bapst. My husband and I came here to Bangor to look at a job opportunity. And on that first trip, I came here to Bapst. I wanted to see if it would be a good fit for our oldest daughter, Anna. She had already been in 5 different schools. We were an Air Force family, and we were going to be settling here in Bangor. And I wanted to be sure that she would have a challenging academic school for high school. And what we found at Bapst was exactly what we were looking for. So 4 more of our children spent their high school years right here at this school. And so for 13 years, we came to games and concerts and shows and teacher conferences and sports meetings. We still have a lot of purple in our house, and this place became a fabric of our family. We've spent countless hours driving to rinks and pools and tracks and fields, and I have had more AP study guides on my kitchen table than you can imagine. And I've hosted pasta parties and overnights, and I've served at team dinners. And so I've had the pleasure of meeting students from towns all around Bangor and from countries all around the world. I've been able to be part of the celebrations of some pretty exciting times here at Bapst, and I've also been really moved by the spirit of the community when things are really tough and sad. And so I was honored when I was asked to serve on the Board of Trustees. And there I met people who've been involved with Bapst for decades, alumni and parents who love this school and have worked endlessly to keep it going. I've met teachers and coaches and staff who do the work the daily work, the day-to-day work that makes this school a place where students can grow and learn and mature and get ready for the next really big thing in your life. So 5 years ago, I was asked to be part of this committee that looked at what the school needed to move towards the future. We made a plan. It was called a strategic plan, and that plan had recommendations. And soon those recommendations evolved into real ideas. And then the ideas evolved into real, actual drawings. And so you are the first to see these actual drawings today, that they're actually on a video and real live. It's really going to happen. For years, people who have dreamed of improvements like this for Bapst, and today we're announcing this actually happening. You will be the students who were here when Bapst decided to build the new practice gym and fitness center. You will see a 90-year-old gym get turned into a pretty amazing community space for dining with a kitchen that's actually pretty decent. And the tech center, like how amazing is that? So you are here to see Bapst get ready for the future. I was back at my high school in New York last fall for my reunion, and when I was a senior, a new auditorium got dedicated, and it was pretty amazing to be there, to look back and think I was there when that got started. My parents have always been involved in the community where I grew up on Long Island, and from them I learned that when you love something, and when something's really important to you and your family, you give of your time and your treasure and your talent. So that's why I'm still here. Our family loves this school, and I want to be part to see this project finished. This project is important for the future of Bapst. It's good for the future of Bangor. It's good for the future of the students of Maine and the world. So go home and tell your parents and your grandparents and your friends and your neighbors that that really great school, John Bapst, that you go to, it's going to be even better. So go Bapst. Thank you.
So now I have to let you in on a little secret about campaign kickoffs. In football games, each half begins with a quick kickoff. Today's kickoff isn't the kickoff that signals the beginning of the game. It's the kickoff to start the second half, the public phase of the fundraising campaign. In the months ahead, we will need support in the form of hundreds of donations, specifically to start building the gym and fitness center. Your family will receive in the mail this week, I know first you got the big news, now you get this one that says, "Love that school, we're building a future, will you join us?" Your family will receive this in the mail soon. Please do join us. Remember, in America, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving is called Giving Tuesday. A lot of good causes, right? Please join us. Make John Bapst a priority this time around. I want to say something especially to the students. If you're a senior, no doubt you have already figured out that the new gym will not be ready for your graduation on June 3rd, 2018. How many days? Who's calculated? Thank you, Haley. But who's counting, right? If you're a junior, well, I don't want to lead you on. Fundraising comes first and then construction. For the junior and senior classes, the best way you can help John Bapst's future is probably to spread the word, just as Dr. Carmack said, about what an excellent school and a supportive community you've been part of. The best way is to spread the word, love that school. If, however, you are a 9th or 10th grader, what you're hearing today will be part of your John Bapst experience, and I need your enthusiasm to help us make this dream come true. One of these days, we're going to gather again on the floor of a brand new gym for a dedication ceremony. By the way, none of this would be possible without the most dedicated teachers and staff in the world who care enough about this school to make it even better in the future. And since we're all gathered for such a good cause, this would be a great chance for us to say thank you, teachers, thank you, staff. How about it? And in fact, the money we raise for the endowment is intended to not only support the new structures, the larger physical plant, but to make sure we have the resources we need to keep the best teachers here at John Bapst. So, to all of you, thank you so much for being part of this special campaign kickoff at John Bapst. Okay, let me take a look here. Coach O. Okay, apparently Coach O has the key to the trophy cabinet because of what he just handed me here. So let me do a little improvising, right? 11/22/08, it says here. John Bapst 21, Winthrop 14. Oh, there it is. Class C state champs. I remember that day. I bet you remember that day. I'll tell you why some of us remember this day. It was freezing. We were in Portland playing a tough team, coached by a John Bapst alumnus. Isn't that right? Jim Stoughton's son coaching the opposition. And here we are, John Bapst against Winthrop, playing and the band with their lips frozen to their trumpets and their trombones. A great day, actually. 9 years ago, John Bapst kicked off in the second half and went on to win that game, to win the state championship. I'm looking forward to another big victory in this campaign, the Love That School campaign. Hope you are too. And Mr. Mack, I think that calls for the fight song.
Come on, everybody, stand up!
Thank you. You may be seated. Zach, make sure that ball gets back to Coach O, okay? Thank you so much for joining us today as we start a great new phase in the school's history. I hope you'll, to our special guests, join us in the school's library after this assembly. Really appreciate your being here to learn about what we have in store, and we have lots in store. Those of us who have been working quietly behind the scenes are so happy to say that the campaign is now public. Our plans are there to tell anybody about, and in a few years, when you take the tour, when all of us take the tour, we'll have even more to be proud of at John Bapst. Thank you so much. Join us in the library, special guests, for a reception. Parents and teachers, I was going to excuse the parents. Students and teachers, you're excused to go to period 5. Off we go. Love That School.